Welcome to Skillcast, the podcast by the London Organisation of Skills Development, where skills are the forefront of all conversations. My name is Nurbanu, and I'll be the host for Season 1. Join me as I dig deep and be a little nosy and find out the story behind the skills our expert guests share with us.
And I'm joined with Martha. So, Martha, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Martha Davidson. I am from the United States, Atlanta, Georgia, and I am so happy to be here. I'm the visionary of Global Women Leadership Network, and I help women, especially women in STEM, get their executive leadership position so that they can thrive and be happy instead of stressed out. And we want them to stand out. So we give them all the skills around neural leadership so that they can thrive.
Awesome. So how do you do that? What's the process?
So basically, we as women basically have the tendency to become leaders, not so much for our own purpose and passion. It's just how we grow up, right? Our parents tell us, go get a good job and go get education. And what's the next step? Work hard so that you can be the best you can be. And so we end up working very hard, but yet we don't really know how to be managers. We don't really know how to tap into our inner being, such as our brain, and understanding how we actually communicate through what I call our inner strengths, our inspiration, our intuition, our intention, our ability to communicate effectively. And so when we move into these leadership roles and want these leadership roles, often what happens is we don't have a lot of the skill sets necessary to be in an executive leadership. So I use what I call neural leadership, where we tap into the inner brilliance of an individual, and we also tap into how do you use the brain and be able to effectively communicate with your what I call inner strengths or superpowers.
Super interesting. So how long have you been doing this for?
So I've been doing neural leadership training and speaking for now 7 years.
Oh, wow. And what were you doing before that?
Well, I am a executive leader. I've worked globally at different places. And so I decided, after wanting my own freedom to be able to share my knowledge and being able to work with other women, because they would say, how did you do this? How did you get into executive leadership? And I began to just start doing different seminars and workshops, helping women leaders enhance their ability to shine and own that executive suite position.
Okay, so now tell me, what's the difference between a leader, like leadership position, and a management position? What's the difference?
Basically, the difference is the role that you're playing. Managers usually have like a team of women or individuals that they work together to come up with solutions. Leaders are more in the executive position, where we call the decision making. They're in the position of making sure that they understand the organization's mission and goal and be able to provide guidance and direction for their team to be excellent in whatever their projects are that they're working. So leadership is more of an executive role, and manager is more of a lower people role.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what are the top skills someone needs to acquire to be in that executive position as a leader?
Mm-hmm. So what it really requires is you having the knowledge to know how to make decisions quickly. It requires you to be able to come up with strategies that will increase the bottom line. And it requires you to be able to communicate effectively with the board of directors or whoever your executive leadership team is, and be able to communicate in what I call an efficient manner and be able to get work done for them. So you're really helping them decide, because of your expertise, how to move forward with various business problems that they experience daily.
So with these skills, how can someone acquire these skills? Is it do they have to do a certain, like, do they have to do an internship? How can they get these skills? Or are people just born with these skills?
What it takes is personal development and growth. So when you're in a role, say you're doing a team lead role, and that's considered like a manager role, and you want to move into the executive suite or in senior leadership positions, what it takes is being able to understand how to communicate effectively. It takes being able to have the experience to do large projects. It requires that you have the understanding of being a good communicator, right? And making sure that when you give your team different guidance and direction, that they are able to follow it. And they feel there's a process they call the SCARF process. It's where when, as a leader, you should be able to communicate with their status, and making sure people are comfortable that you value them and what they do. And then there is certainty. A lot of times, especially since post-pandemic, certainty is something that people are not really sure that they have because of the dynamics of what we're seeing in the economy. And then the next area is autonomy. You don't want somebody to feel like that you have to oversee them all the time. So you want them to feel comfortable in their role and be able to contribute to the organization from autonomy's perspective. And then there's relatedness. How can you and I communicate effectively so that we're able to make whatever decisions we make to increase whatever projects we are on and get it done quickly? And then fairness is just the whole, they say equity, I say equality, making sure that people understand that they are equal, and that just as a leader doesn't mean that I can't see where you are and can't help you be able to perform at the highest level that you can.
So tell me about the work you do in leadership. What does your consultancy do? Mm-hmm. How can you help someone be that leader? What's the stages that you take them to?
Well, basically, if I have a team, because sometimes I just work with executives directly, but if I have a team, it's sitting down with them, making sure that we are comfortable with one another, that we can trust, because trust is very important in any role, especially as a leadership role. The other thing is making sure I understand what their desires are, understanding, talking to them, what is it that you would like to do? Give me, what makes you passionate about whatever it is that we're engaging together in. And then from that perspective, we begin to have that bond so that we can work together and come up with decisions. It's not me telling you, it's me assisting and helping you and I together to get to the end goal of whatever it is that we need to do.
Yeah, it seems like it's a team group effort. That's awesome. So Martha, if people want to reach out to you, how can they do that if they want to learn more about the work you do?
Yes. So you can reach out to me. I'm at Martha Davidson, and I'm at yahoo.com, at Martha Davidson at yahoo.com. And you also can reach out to me at Empowering Minds at gmail.com. And I am the visionary of the Clarion Leadership Women's Network.
Awesome. Do you have LinkedIn as well?
And yes.
Okay. So maybe we'll put that in the bio as well, so people can reach out to there if they're from a professional background.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's really nice speaking with you and learning more about leadership and why it's so important that more females take on a leadership role.
Yes. Thank you.